The Wizards have a chance to make history tonight, the first team in franchise history to sweep a team in a 7-game series. That could be what happens tonight as the Wizards take on the Toronto Raptors in Game 4 of their first-round series. Jumoke Davis here with Haley Milan for what we like to call American Express home court advantage.
Drawing is not my thing, but I'm trying. For Bradley, I'm like his teammate tonight.
Of the human body.
Does this make you more nervous than basketball? To get it right?
Yeah.
What does this take you back to sit here? Is there a class you're thinking about?
Back in high school, because that's where I never took art class in college. I've done one portrait, it was a Frida Kahlo, and that was the only good portrait I've ever done.
Yeah.
But if you ask me to do it again, I can't do portraits.
Wizards fans come in all ages. In this edition of Center Court, you will meet one of the most passionate fans of this franchise, and she's 93 years young. What were your feelings when the NBA called to tell you you won the Community Assist Award?
It was a huge honor, a humbling experience. It just shows my dedication, and not I have to do it, but I want to do it. I mean, it's something coming from the bottom of my heart. I love giving back, putting smiles on kids' faces.
Throughout the process, there was a lot of social media that went into voting for you. Did you have to go through your big Rolodex to find all of the superstars to contact? What was that phone call? Was it like being a politician to get them to vote?
No, it wasn't really. You know what I mean? A lot of people always ask me to promote their music or promote something for them, so I kind of laid it as opportunity.
You ever think about starting a family of your own?
Whoa.
I know you're young, but...
Whoa, I got time.
That's too much.
I got time. I'm only 25 right now.
What do you want to say to if you would talk to other young players who maybe are going to come in the NBA? We know the draft is coming up, about what they should do and how to follow in your footsteps. This bus is great. You can saddle up right here to the bar. You can get a little rest after you've been partying all day. There's this awesome rooftop party deck. You get some fresh air while you're drinking your brew. There's even a shower to freshen up. And you talked about coming here and what you thought the potential of this team can do in the playoffs. You got 2 more regular season games, but focusing on after this, the postseason. Just talk about the journey that you've gone through for this team.
Well, yeah, it's a long journey going through 82 games.
Brad, I'll tell you what, so much heart in this team. Just talk about what you said in the locker room to try to come out here in that third quarter, really shut them down defensively and turn it on offensively. You don't have to look back too far to find the last time the 76ers were inside Verizon Center to take on the Wizards. Just back to February 5th. It was a special night for John Wall as he received his All-Star jersey, and he showed why he was an All-Star. The Wizards jumped out to a big early lead and never looked back, all behind John Wall's triple-double. Wall finished with 18 points, 10 assists, and a career-high 13 rebounds. Both Bradley Beal and Marcin Gortat benefited from Wall's big game, scoring 22 and 21 points respectively. When the final buzzer went off, the scoreboard read Washington 106, Philadelphia 94. And it's funny because we saw John Wall grow up, Bradley Beal. At some point, we're going to have to call John a veteran, right?
I mean, it's the 6th year. He's a veteran
right?
now.
He's a
young
right?
vet.
He's a young vet. But we have a new young rookie, Kelly Oubre Jr. I know you spoke highly of him. You spent a lot of time with him. Where do you see him fitting in with this team? How can he blossom? All right, Wizards fans, it's officially the second half of the season. The Wizards are past the All-Star break and looking ahead. The trade deadline also passed, and the Washington Wizards picked up Markieff Morris from the Phoenix Suns. So we're really excited, and I'm excited to have this guy, Glenn Consor, the Washington Wizards Radio Network, join me. We're going to talk about looking ahead to what the Wizards will do in the second half. But first, let's look back, Glenn. If you can talk about what you liked from the Washington Wizards in that first half of the season. Well, all right, welcome back to the practice court here in Verizon Center for Wizards Media Day. Jumoke Davis here with Haley Milan and Jeremy Hyman over there with social media. We're excited. We've had a lot of players already. We got a new one coming in, DeJuan Blair. He's a new player to the Washington Wizards, and we're happy to have him with us. Welcome. With a chance to take a commanding 3-1 lead over the Atlanta Hawks in the Eastern Conference semifinal matchup, it was the Washington Wizards in Game 4 that found themselves down late, trying to mount a comeback. Unfortunately, they fell short, but on a positive note, Bradley Beal was spectacular, scoring a playoff career high 34 points. As the saying goes, if you don't succeed, try again. A year ago on this same date, May 15th, the Washington Wizards found themselves in the same position. Game 6, down 3-2, trying to force a Game 7. Unfortunately, when the buzzer sounded, it was the same result. From the White House to here in Northeast Washington, D.C. at the Brown Education Campus, the My Brother's Keeper initiative is aiming to empower young people. The MSC Foundation, which includes the Wizards, Mystics, and Capitals, are adopting this school and helping to tip off the campaign. Jumoke Davis here, Monumental Sports Network, with the new Wizards head coach, Scott Brooks. You've just been honored at the Caps game. How many Caps games will you be going to for the rest of the playoffs now that you're here and a member of our family?
I will try to go as many as I can. One thing
When we first met Kelly Oubre Jr. at the draft, you could tell that he had a flair for fashion, right? Those shoes, they were blowing up on Twitter. But he also has an artistic side, and he shared it with some students at Duke Ellington School of the Arts. Hello, Wizards fans. We're here in the Monumental Network studios. Jumoke Davis and Haley Milan here for American Express Home Court Advantage. Game 6 between the Washington Wizards and the Atlanta Hawks. The Wizards are facing elimination tonight. It'll be a tough one for them, and we want to give you this news. I know we tweeted. Hey, Wizards fans, Jumoke Davis here in New York City for the All-Star game with our All-Star, John Wall, here in Madison Square Garden. We got a great show for you to start off the second half of the season here on American Express Home Court Advantage. We'll have a new Black History Month honoree. We have a sneak peek at the new Wizards magazine. And of course, we'll break down analysis of the Washington Wizards as they get ready to take on the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight. American Express Home Court Advantage starts now. Hello, Wizards fans, and welcome into the Monumental Network studios. Jumoke Davis, Haley Milan here for what we call American Express Home Court Advantage. And it's Chinese New Year night, presented by Maryland Live. It's the year of the GOAT, and we don't mean greatest of all time. But, you know, you and I here in the studio, we've been the only two here in the studio for this show.
I think
so
we
maybe
are
we're kind of the greatest of all time.
Are we the GOATs of Monumental?
Maybe.